Tariff is also a pretty good replacement to that, with high mobility, just has shield to defend himself, but more so when he gets enough items, he just showed the final roster. I saw the high-lows and I was like, wait a minute, this should not be a high-lows. Thankfully it isn't. Look at Kimboy, he just cannot move at all. Traction pulse does come in, Kimboy. Revitalize goes back up, the passive enough to keep enough alive, but Albert does take a turtle away, and Randy it just hop in. This is bounce house for him, but the AOG does go off, and Randy ends up going down. They trade one back. But this is not too bad for cleaned up by Mark Easy. First, Kimboy would just have to show presence for now. Have to use his health as a resource and trade it for priority, but sadly, Evo's not going to make it any easier. He does have to revitalize. Traction pulse, conceal both Hughes and Randy ready to reciprocate. Great tectonic to the back line. The AOG comes out, hits an air ball, but they're able to jump onto Randy in a 1v1. Meanwhile, Erlan gets assassinated. They trade Kimboy's life for it, but it's a 2-for-1 in favor of CYBERHERO.
Yeah, it's a time to betray. Let's see if Evos can find another, but with Erlan and Randy down, there's a good amount of their front and their damage. If he keeps trying to reset it, Albert
did not out for Mashiro. This is where things can ramp up for him, and Qlet's gonna look to make it happen. Erlan's gonna try and dance around, gets hit by the Land Shaker anyways. Everything unloaded onto Erlan as he gets assassinated. Mashiro will take that bottom tier 1, as this Lapo isn't going down anytime soon. Second Land Shaker almost hits on the Suelo as he steals the Bravest Fighter away. And CYBERHERO are on the board. As we do find Marquise. Albert follows up with the Shadow. No more iframes there. Marquise is gonna eat the full brunt of it. Finds the Cyclone Eye, but Albert takes care of him.
Wrong place at the wrong time there for Mark Teasy. CYBERHERO getting wins, but sort of evens it out actually for Evos. The fact that he took out the jungler, my goodness, Key. On point with the tectonic charges in this game, man. Card here in terms of helping set things up. While Kimboy will get vision. Looks a little bit better now for Evos. Key has his ultimate. Looks good for them.
Whoa! Another tectonic charge. Key is on the money. Marquise too with his retribution. So they trade Fangor for the turtle. As Qlet now in the midst of that fight, he should be able to disengage. Key puts up the rampart again. Kimboy now needs to make a decision where to go. Turns around, gets his health back. Deals with 4 members of Evos.
In the last big team fight, he knew that the cooldowns were still up and that there wouldn't be much that Evos can throw at him to actually take him down. Randy spots Mashiro. CYBERHERO still actually applying the pressure here despite the wins that Evos has been getting.
Yeah, Qlet actually gets away with the flicker, but Erlan on the chase, and let's get the passive shield back up, but Qlet should go down. As CYBERHERO is not able to provide the backup, Randy keeps everyone in check. Another tectonic use, but still doesn't cancel the AOG. Pretty unlucky, the roll onto both Fangor and Mashiro. Still another wall, tectonic incoming, you can feel it from Key. He's just waiting for that moment. And that moment hasn't come just yet. Now he uses it. The AOG gets committed. Mashiro gets hit, but easily gets out. And now Qlet is just going to swing away. The Shadow Kill from Albert finally takes care of Mashiro. And without the Granger around, CYBERHERO basically ran out of majority of that damage. Randy will keep on chasing. Pulls Fangor back into his death. As the AOG now gets used, but it's a bit too late. As Evos found 4 bodies. Erlan trying to dance around Marquise. He just cannot catch a break. Evos finds a wipeout.
Ask the Lord. I think now it's going to be even tougher for CYBERHERO to get any semblance of a momentum going unless they find an Evos error.
And the stolen AOG actually saves Suelo and ends up killing Kimboy as he tried to follow with his AOG. First tectonic.
While the Dominance Ice was eventually built down the line. Usually we see Dominance get built first for Gata Kachus, but I believe he decided to go for the Radiant Armor Rush. Kimboy taking too much!
Can he get out though? AOG used defensively again, so no AOG for the upcoming push. Traction pulse, let's get committed though. Fangor get very dangerous. Had to flicker away, so Albert doesn't find any collection with the Shadow Kill. Qlet actually jumps back in. He was looking for Albert, but finds the rest of Evos instead. He has to flicker out, and another tectonic from the Grok, and this is why Grok has to go, man.
Go for it. Might be way too risky unless they find another big play and capitalize on more CYBERHERO errors from Kimboy and Qlet.
And Albert actually gets the execution onto Mashiro as they take out
no matter what happens here, unless like Evos really mess up, they should be fine. Key already in base, knowing the threat that he can pose with the tectonic charge, which is up again. They're perfectly lined up. Will he go for it?
Oh my god, the stolen AOG Suelo just flattens Fangor right in his base. 4v5 now. Qlet jumps forward, but sadly, Evos have already bought the distance. Marquise, he's gonna be the hero right now, but Key Knocks him back. Albert assassinates Mashiro. Both the main carries of CYBERHERO have gone down. They need 13 more seconds for Fangor, but I don't think they will have 13 seconds as Kimboy becomes the third casualty. Gillette will have to hold the fort. All
Just
of
when they thought that they had to worry all the time about the tech charge, they also have to worry about the AOG. They have to worry about the game ending here.
And the Suelo again, just superhero landing as Mashiro just dies. He comes in a tectonic charge. Kimboy can't really do too much. Same for Fangor. Evos just has too much power in this fight. Marquise gets hunted down by Erlan, and it's just Kimboy against the world. Killet trying to clear out the minion wave, but can't really do much. Evos takes game 1.
Tough, man. Way too tough there. Actually, they're still giving away the Grok. I feel like it's very problematic. They don't have the Valentina anymore. Great. They decided to ban that out, brings for a team. So they're going to have to find a way to balance it out, that they're making sure that Marquise is comfortable in his farm, but at the same time, that they're also being able to get farm onto Fangor. This is a good start, though, as they get a pick onto Erlan in the bottom.
Yeah, and Marquise actually hit level 4. Didn't have to expand that ult, so Albert can just keep on pressing his ult all day. And speaking of which, Throne of Ruin does get used. They jump onto Suelo, and Randy can't really save him. But now Randy can just do everything that he wants. There's literally no damage to take him down.
Huh, so it seems like what we thought would be happening, it's happening in reverse as Evos just keep getting caught out in the wrong position. Who's going to get this turtle?
Pretty much a done deal once that Rampart came out. But the key again in that tectonic charge, Vanguard
have the lead. They were able to get those wins early on. But as this game goes on longer, the question for CYBERHERO all throughout the day is, can they do better? And it seems like they can't.
It's so hard to just walking up to key itself puts you at more than enough for Evos to unleash this hellfire onto Vanguard. That's the second death this game. He's 2 levels behind Suelo. Another ramp out put out. You get a confront. Albert was able to get away with the shadows. AOG and shadows into the Throne of Ruin as Albert goes down to Gillette. So kind of a lucky pick out there for
Fovey is still running down from the top.
Did get a fresh war axe. Erlan, Albert as well. Had to spot shadows. You have to be careful though. There's a tectonic charge and also the certain call AOG and the Throne of Ruin, but Evo turns around and just unleashes their own damage. But for CYBERHERO and Mashiro able to get out from now. The land as well escape. The pinpoint traces life for the turtle.
Oh wow, CYBERHERO. Still, I think that's a good call in the sense that, hey, if you're worried about the Grok starting things up, why not just be the one to start things off first, right? Seems like it's going to be much better, but this time it's Evos biting back, despite Key being at around 50% health. He is still setting the tempo and forcing Colette to go back home after taking so much damage through the gold lane options for that hero in the center of the map, though. Albert and Evos find Fangor with his pants down.
And they will be able to trade Albert back. Good stuff from Kimboy. Gladly trades his life for that as Marquise gets the just no revitalize. CYBERHERO essentially didn't lose that much. But again, getting through Randy and Key will be a problem that they will have to constantly deal with. And not to mention that Mashiro doesn't really get the luxury to just walk around again. Vanguard eats everything. He just does not get a good game. They get the kick on the Suelo. Suelo flies away. Marquise gets tied up in the curtain call. Erlan with the clutch save as Suelo survives. And they turn it around to take down Marquise instead. Evos just
commanding team fight win before the Lord even starts. They say to hell with that. We're going to start this Lord. We're going to force CYBERHERO to react because we know that they are in the lead. A kick gets found there, but another wild charge by Key finds Fangor, and will that be over? Because that Throne of Ruin from that Alice can only do so much against the onslaught that Evos is bringing. He gets out. Mashiro gets to flicker out or TP out as well. Killet goes out through the blood. And Marquise can only try, but there's only so much that he can do. Yet again, CYBERHERO has lost some intrigue.
Not to mention that defending high ground will also be quite challenged. And to add insult to injury, Vanguard is just not having a game at all. Let has to get up with the Dream Key again with the Rampart. It's just missing everyone's life. It's not something to get him going. In fact, most people turn around with the Tectonic Charge. And that 3 members getting knocked back by the Mighty Steam Kimboy just straight up destroyed. as Albert comes in with the shadow kill, doesn't find anyone, but there's still a Lord marching down top.
Man, I think it's very clear now. Unanimous. Pretty sure even in the comment section, everyone agrees to take that Grok out of this game, bro. My goodness.
This Grok is just too good, too strong. The current call even committed that Fangor.
Now, let's see. Lord marching in. Evos trying to find an angle right away. Instantly key with a flicker in. Wild charge as well. And it looks like that's going to be it. Even though they find a kick, there's too much damage, too much of a lead, and too much of Evos for CYBERHERO to handle. They jump on Kimpoy. Fangor can only watch as CYBERHERO will fall down to 2 games. Evos 1 win away. The thing about it is he's playing it into a Fredrin who could potentially easily just chain him down with crowd controls. Add to that, there's a Kalea as well. Lane, you do get a little bit more burst, so there's a lot more damage for CYBERHERO, but let's see if they can make the most out of it.
Oh, see the first attempt is to be crossed up with good RWM. Fangor, he walks out of it. Velo gets caught up by Marquise. He needs a bit of help. So a Brazos Wrath slam down will be enough. And Erline, at least he's facing too wet. Damage here between Marquise and Kimpoy. He was
shared responsibility between the two.
And man, Mashiro is not having a game at all. Absolutely cleaved by Key. Most of the leg work done by Albert. Nice Velo, who still has to purify, so it shouldn't be a problem there. Crimson Beacon again. Use defensive.
The timing was just perfect. That Swalo saw the 3, but he really couldn't get anything out of him, and Evos already got kill. Kimpoy gets key though, and that could be good for CYBERHERO considering that the roamer is going to be down for Evos for this turtle, but I think he just has enough time to get back. Evos still has to get their Swalo and Erlan trying to buy time, but I think CYBERHERO has this, man.
Albert not even going to bother contesting this.
Albert has farmed up in this game, has a level advantage, and of course, as CYBERHERO is not really getting the invades that they want. They're playing a little bit more of a slower tempo. Yeah, they're not going to be able to do much to actually stop Albert unless Albert oversteps or commits his traceless in the wrong direction in the team fight. But Mashiro gets picked off again!
And Key is everywhere in the jungle of CYBERHERO. They use it out of the end, but instantly the bolt hits him. And that is just Albert going to town. Mark TZ left to his own devices and basically tenderized by Rendy's hammer.
How they want to play. They want a roamer to mess up every single rotation that CYBERHERO wants, and they want to set the tempo. Here's an entry.
And they get the RKO, but Albert should be able to get out of this. A good traceless turtle bolt as well. The Appraiser's wrap damage not enough, and they've already lost Fangor and Mashiro. Again, the calls from CYBERHERO not given much to work with. Erlan does end up going down to the 10,000 volts on the turtle and gets it for his team.
At this point, you're thinking, what can CYBERHERO learn from this whole experience? Another kill there, though. Given the rush ahead to seize as the first item.
They get the grab into the RWM, but man, Key just chops Kimpoy into bits. So, he's gonna get lift off into a turtle boat. Albert
especially 3 games in a row playing some of the most disruptive roam picks in the metagame today.
And a 2-man penalty zone. Again, the Tsunami Slam doesn't really do too much. They do get Randy as Key actually gets away with. I guess the silver lining is that CYBERHERO will barely hold the fort at the cost of the mid. Oh, penalty zone. Oh, Randy. This marvelous engage, and Fangor is gone. Evos now can again step on the paddle, re-engage with that aggression. CYBERHERO will have to hold on. Kimpoy just got the fleeting time, but the only fleeting time right now is CYBERHERO's chances in this tournament. Gillette tries to really work magic, but he's just gonna get chopped in half by Key. A Tsunami Slam with no follow-up amounts to the death of the Kalea, and this is game over. Winter might come and go, but Evos is destined to stay in this tournament.
When you play the game of zone, you win or you die.